Not playing good today. Today is just simply not our day. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have finally made it to Battle Creek, Michigan. This is a city I have been eyeballing for quite a while because you guys have a handful of courses and all of them are pretty high rated. But first up on the docket, we are at Kiwanis Disc Golf Park. As you can see, the long tee pads are just merely packed gravel, but we do have what looks like some brand new tee signs. And hole one is 266 feet, dead straight. We have this tree in the middle of the fairway, which makes it quite a bit more difficult. I think we will be staying on the longs for the most part, unless we want to throw an ace run or two in there, but we are going to full send the truth. And I am really excited to get this round started. Oh yeah, hold that line. Oh, really good first throw of the day. There is a creek up there, but luckily we got past it. Let's get started. For the two, hole two, 236 feet. It is dead straight. This is a tricky tee shot. We have a lot of trees in our way and it is quite a bit uphill. We are going to try to push this gap on the right side and then hopefully get a strong left finish with our Kia. Oh, get up there. All right. Maybe too stable of a disc. It looks like we caught a pretty big skip. We might have a first tester putt of the day. Kia worked out quite a bit better than I expected. It's a good thing we got all that elevation practice last week at Whiskey Hills. Well, we didn't get a lot of putting practice last week at Whiskey Hills. Oh my gosh. It's time to wake the arm up. We have hole three, 378 feet. It looks like it is just kind of a steady hyzer the entire way. We are throwing uphill and there's a lot of trees in this fairway. Whenever I'm kind of unsure on a long shot in a new course, my comfortability is always my Garrett Girthy Wraith. Oh no, I threw it. Okay, we got lucky there. I released that super early. I threw it really hard, but we went super early, just kind of blew through those branches up there. I'm not sure where we ended up, but let's go find out. So the Wraith managed to work its way all the way up here. It is a shame we didn't hit the fairway. That is an extremely gorgeous tee shot. We have left ourselves this tricky, probably about 85-foot shot. I don't have room to work a backhand, so we're gonna give it a nice little flick with our Justice. Oh, nice old-fashioned pull tapper there. For the par, let me tell you something. This place is a mosquito sanctuary. You know what I mean? Hole one was just, it was horrendous. It was just a cloud of mosquitoes. There was this lady showing up to walk her dog. By the time I got to hole three, she was out of there. She said, see you later. She walked by, she said, you know, I've never been here with the mosquitoes this bad. But I guess that's just the luck we have here at Tossing Plastic. I've used about half a bottle of bug spray already. That is not a joke. This is not a false alarm. If you come play here, come prepared. Armor, plated armor. Hole four, 277 feet. The basket is dead straight. You have a few options here. You could go with a wide kind of hyzer route, shredding this right side here. You could go with this extremely dead straight route, but you would need a very strong right finish at the end, more of the par play. And then we can go slightly off to the right, try to force over our truth. Hopefully our stability kicks in at the end and we leave ourselves a putt. So that is what we're gonna do. Nope. Oh, man, did I hit that tree hard. All right, time to scramble. We are still 188 feet from the pin, and why may I know that? Because we are currently standing on the short tee, but directly in front of this tree, you know what I mean? So it is a bit more difficult. I'm gonna take my Kia, force it over to the right, let the stability kick in, hopefully save our par. Oh yeah. Oh, hopefully we didn't skip. It looks like it goes downhill behind the basket. Hopefully we have a putt. For the par, hole 5, 246 feet, and we have a classic ace run here. It is dead straight. You have a ton of room to work with. Having these pavers as a tee pad is a nice change of pace, and we are gonna full send our champion Rhino. Come on, highs are out. Well, dang. It wasn't quite a run, should be an easy birdie, but we caught those branches on the right side. It would have been nice to see that finish without hitting this branch. Hole 6, 418 feet dead straight. As you can see, they kind of just cut this pathway out of a lot of long grass. We are gonna full send our champion boss, hopefully get it on a slight turn for quite a while, highs are out, and leave ourselves a putt. Well, we overturned that by a mile. Yikes. Here's where the boss ended up, directly underneath this branch. We have left ourselves a 77-footer, almost impossible with how low the ceiling is. We just gotta throw our hammer nice and hard. Hopefully it punches through that branch and we can get a little run. Oh, well, we caught the branch. I've had a few of you guys asking, Hunter, where's Craig? Listen, Craig lives on the road. When I'm back home, he just kind of goes off and does his own thing. But for an update, last I heard, he was selling those cheap shell necklaces at a hot dog stand somewhere in Delaware. That's the last update I got from him via pigeon. He actually sends letters via pigeon still. So that's the only update I've got from Craig. As soon as I leave the state, I'm sure he will show up. Hole 7, and this is an absolutely gorgeous and terrifying hole. We have 298 feet dead straight on an absolute rope. We are gonna full send our truth. Oh, it's so low. I mean, we slid up there a ways, but the loose gravel tee pads are definitely making it a little more of a struggle. Luckily, we threw the truth nice and flat, so we got a ton of ground play, leaving ourselves a true tester putt, probably around 40 feet for the 2. Nope. Hole 8, and we have an absolute meat hook, 329 feet downhill. We really need to kind of regain our focus here. The mosquitoes are really starting to get into my head, but we need to just move past that. We are gonna full send the scepter. Oh man, we caught a tree out of sight. Not super mad about that throw. Let's see what we're left with. For my first playthrough, that felt very throw and hope. There is a lane once you come up here, you want to hang much straighter. I probably would have went with a completely different disc, but here we are, max scramble mode. We have 110 trees in our way. I'm gonna try to get a nice little flick shot with our justice and save our par. Oof. All right, that was a weirdly big skip. We're gonna have to work for it. We've left ourselves about 22 feet for the 2. Or for the par, I'm not that good. Hole 9, 446 feet. And as you can tell, we have a tricky tee shot. We need to stay dead straight, even get some right turn out of that gap up there. I'm not entirely sure where the basket is, but because of these very kind of slippery tee pads, I'm not trusting the big distance driver. We are gonna full send our champion Orc. All right, as expected, not a ton of distance, but we went straight. After getting nowhere on our drive, we still have 224 feet to the pin. Nice wide open shot, should set up perfect for our Rhino. All right, that'll work. For the 3, for today's hole 9 break, I'm gonna ask you guys a simple question. And no, this has nothing to do with my current rage and war against mosquitoes, but what are a few things that will actually cause you to leave a course mid-round? And for me, my number 1 answer is mosquitoes. Yes, what a coincidence, who would have saw that coming? But in reality, yes, mosquitoes are the biggest reason that I will leave a course mid-round. And the other one really is playing with some very slow card mates. You have a buddy who invites you to play around with his buddies, but his buddies like to be, you know, on hole 6 an hour and a half into the round. Also, losing a very special disc. There has been times where I've lost a disc early on in the round, and well, then I just call it a day and head back to Greta, because sometimes the universe is telling you you've had enough disc golf, and to me, that one is pretty obvious. The only other thing that made me quit mid-round was a bee sting, and that was back when I was filming Big Bend. It was like some kind of mud wasp, got me in the knee, my knee swelled up like a balloon. I think I made it to like hole 14 or 15 and had to call it a day. But nonetheless, I figured this question would bring up some interesting answers, and I would love to hear some from you guys of why you would leave mid-round. I know there's some funny ones out there and I want to hear them. Also, if you guys are enjoying the content, please consider hitting the subscribe button, turning on notifications. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Hole 10, and this is a very tricky one. 321 feet, basically a tunnel shot the entire way. You want to hold a slight ante the entire way, and we are going to full send our Valkyrie. Oh my gosh. That was a really good throw and probably the loudest tree hit I've ever heard in my life. Let's go find it. Here's where the Valkyrie ended up. I am pretty blind to the basket. It's probably around 120, 130 feet-ish. I'm just going for a standard little hyzer shot. Just get her up and down and move on. All right, that'll work. It's definitely been a par train kind of day. Hole 11, it's only 217 feet, and this is the long tee pad. It is a sharp anhyzer the entire way. It definitely suits up for that. Better than the forearm, I believe, but we are gonna full send our Envy. Oh, it feels good. All right, I think that was perfect, and let me tell you something, we needed it. The hole definitely felt like it was a bit longer than 217 feet, but we got the birdie when we needed it the most. Hole 12, the tee sign says it's 237 feet, but I'll tell you just from the eyeball test, it is much farther than that, and then the rangefinder had it about 265. I know you guys can't see much. I do apologize for that. It is a downhill ante shot. We are gonna full send our sold. You guys should be able to see the basket, so hopefully if I have a good shot, it'll all work out. Oh, be perfect. Oh no, why did I open my mouth? Oh, that looked so good. Oh, terrible tree kick. I had such a good feeling when I let that disc go and got humbled real fast. We have left ourselves a long one, about 95 feet for the 2. Oh, good run. For the par. One quick thing about Kiwanis, guys, it is very evident the tee pads are horrendous. Some of the worst I've played on, they're very loose gravel, they're not flat, they're very dippy on the long tee shots. That it's challenging, like it is challenging. I've struggled with it, but I did read on UDisc that they are looking to kind of revamp this course and replace the tee pad. So this is what I believe they're all gonna look like. Gorgeous pavers. I've seen a handful of them. It looks like they're only doing the short tee pads, and I believe it said their goal is to be done by the end of September with them. So very important, keep that in mind. Hole 13, 208 feet, downhill, dead straight, pretty tight kind of tunnel shot. It looks like there's a steep drop off behind the basket. Now, I'm not entirely sure that's how it does look from the tee pad though, and we are gonna full send our Envy. All right, I couldn't quite tell where that landed, but I think we should have a putt. The Envy has left us a tricky little straddle putt for the 2. I did not think that was gonna stay in the basket. Hole 14, and this is a tricky one. We have 324 feet. We're throwing over a river. It is uphill the entire way, and it's a dead straight tunnel shot. You even want a slight right turn the entire way. We are gonna full send our Valkyrie. All right, it didn't quite hook up at the end, but I think we left ourselves a putt, which I am very happy with on a tricky hole like this. I am extremely happy with that tee shot. Hole 15, 225 feet. We want to get a nice little flip up dead straight to just baby hyzer the entire way. We are going to full send our Envy. Nope. Oh boy. I knew that was bad the second it left my hand, but it has left us a pretty exciting putt. We have 87 feet. We have to get through this very narrow gap right in front of us, but hopefully we can give it a run. Oh, well, I mean, we tried. For the par, one question that I wanted to ask you guys for a while, but it keeps slipping my brain, is do any of my viewers not play disc golf? That's something that I'd be very interested on. And if that's the case, I just would like to know why you watch the channel. What do you enjoy about it, being that you are not a disc golfer? Hole 16, 180 feet, pretty similar to the last hole. We just kind of want a slight little hyzer the entire way. This time we are gonna go with our Rhino. Here's where the Rhino ended up. We got kind of a weird little bounce out wide to the right, but hopefully we can knock this one down to save our birdie. Nope, not playing good today. Today is just simply not our day. We've all been there. Hole 17, and we are gonna come to the short on this one because honestly, this hole looks like a ton of fun. We have 179 feet, just a huge wide ante. You can go as wide as you want. So of course we are gonna full send the Waka Waka. That is such a fun shot. I could throw that 100 times. A lot of fun. Waka Waka really got glidey on us. We went quite a bit deep on this basket, but we have left ourselves this fun hyzer putt around the tree, probably around 33 feet. Oh man. I was hoping we'd get that one. Rounding off our interesting day here at Kiwanis Disc Golf Course, we have hole 18, 160 feet. We did jump up to the short. The basket is in a really cool location. We are gonna try to go for an ace run, dead straight at it, hopefully get some stability. It looks like there's a cool flick or ante shot, but we're just not feeling that much on our game today. So hopefully we can end on a good note. Oh, caught a tree. Maybe we'll end on a really long, cool putt. As you guys can see, the pin is in a beautiful location, and as we finish up this round, hopefully on a good note, I do want to take a second and apologize if I did seem kind of irritated or off my game today. These bugs truly have just been miserable since hole 1. Can't putt because they're just buzzing in your ear. I probably have 80 bites on me. We are going to go find somewhere anywhere other than this course to film the outro, and to be completely transparent, I have never been more excited to leave a disc golf course. Not because of the course itself, just because of everything else. Come on. Oh, you know, it would be fitting to end on a basket hit. How about 2? That wraps up today's video at Kiwanis Disc Golf Course in Battle Creek, Michigan. And yes, we got out of there as fast as we possibly could, but it had nothing to do with the course. And one thing that I'm going to bring up and that I mentioned earlier in the video is that Kiwanis is currently undergoing a lot of upgrades, it seems like. Slowly but surely they are getting there. And the number one issue I'm hoping that they resolve is the tee pads. Now there's nothing I need to bring up on the tee pads because I handled that earlier in the video, but one thing I do want to say is the tee signs look new and they are very nice, and the baskets are also newer and in great shape. Overall, the course was very enjoyable. They had quite a few different shot shapes that you needed. The signage from hole to hole was very good. There was a few spots that it was lacking, or maybe I just didn't see it, but for the most part, there was 2 arrow signs telling you where the short tee pad is and where the long. Overall, Kiwanis is a very solid course. There was a lot of different shot shapes you needed from the longs. I will say the shorts basically just looks like a putt and approach style course. Nothing but ace runs the entire time. I'm sure some of them are quite tricky, but if you just wanted to hang out with the boys or the girls, have a good time, relax, and fire away at some aces, that is a great course to do it. As you can see from the long tee pads, there were a few holes that we could pull the distance drivers out, but for the most part, it was more kind of dead straight. Tricky tunnel shots, you're going to be leaning more towards the fairways and mid-ranges. Overall, Kiwanis is a solid course, and I do think that it has a ton of potential moving forward, but for me personally, nothing really stood out there. Nothing's calling my name to go back to that course, but overall, you can't argue the fact that it is very solid. Overall, as it currently sits, I'm going to give Kiwanis the solid score of 7 out of 10. I do think moving forward, it can move up quite a bit in the rankings if they continue to pursue the improvements that they are working on. I do think that it was a good bar to set in Battle Creek for our first course, but I think the next one we're going to visit might be a little bit better. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.